I was 20 years old when we met. He was 21. Now I'm 67. He's 68 years old. We've been married 44 and a half years. 3 daughters, 2 grandsons. We always had a deep down interest for people who were less fortunate than us. Okay, check this out. Even through medical school, we lived across the street from the projects where the
Y'all
low
were in the
income,
hood. Y'all were
yeah,
in
we were in the hood. Check this out. And I'm sure the medical school bought that property because it was just dirt cheap.
Right.
Okay, it's across the street from Black Folk Projects. And always, my husband and I, we'd be in the married student housing. We'd say, hey, how y'all doing? We'd go across the street and talk to the folk across the street. Y'all doing all right? We'll sit down. They say, y'all come on in, get some Kool-Aid and some, whatever. And sit down. It was so comfortable. We went to our churches in the community, okay? And it was so comfortable. Even when we had children, we have 3 adult daughters now, but they were little,
Right.
coming up through the years, and we have 2 grandsons. But through the years, we made it a point to go into the community, to do house calls, to go into the poorest of the poorest neighborhoods and communities and take our children with us. Why? Because we want to let them know that you have to treat everybody right, no matter what. And so in the depth of poverty, we take our children. They'll be so comfortable, they'll go into people's mobile homes or whatever, and they'll go right and lay on people's bed. I said, no, don't lay on Miss Jones' bed. And then the patient would say, no, that's all right, Dr. Williams, let them be comfortable.
Right.
Y'all want something to eat? Okay, I say that to say this. We feel that we as professional people have a dire responsibility to look after the indigent, the poor, the disenfranchised, and not feel that you are above anyone. That is so very key. Check this out. My husband and I formed an organization, the Family Unit Incorporated,
Right.
back in 2009. At first, we set out just trying to get folk married because we knew the high percentage of people in our community, in the African American community, that were not married. 75 to 80% of children in our community are raised in single parent homes. We felt that there was something not right with that equation when our people, African people from the continent of Africa brought over here on slave ships, knew about family, and families were torn apart through the slavery that went on for forever, for over 300 years. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted folk to get married. We were on Morris College's radio station for a while, on Sunday afternoons for about an hour. And that went on for a little while, and it kind of fizzled out. And then God so fixed it that we said, okay, we're still going to encourage marriage, but we're going to try to do something in addition to that. So we went out into the community, planted some gardens out there in South Sumter. That lasted for a while. And then we got into getting abandoned homes, okay? In the past 5 years, we have restored 5 homes. Wow. And have given away, in the past 6 years, we've given away 5 homes. We've restored 5 homes and just given them away, but not just.
Wait. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Y'all have given away 5 homes?
Yes,
Wow.
sir, in the past 6 years.
Wow.
And it's not just to anyone.
Uh-huh.
We have requirements. We have standards. We select families. You said, what in the world are the standards? How could somebody get a free house? Well, they are stringent standards. The family has to make sure that their children go to school every day, every day. And if they're not in school, that family has to give me the privilege and the right and the authority to go to that child's school and talk to that child's teacher, the principal, the counselor, and whomever comes into contact with that child to find out what is that child doing.
And I know they don't want to see you coming.
Okay, no, okay. And the grades, I must see the grades. And if that child is falling behind in math, science, what have you, we get that child some tutoring if I have to do the tutoring myself. And I oftentimes will go to folks' houses and the kids are in the back playing games on whatever, TV or PS4, whatever, and I'll just go in the house. I say, I tell you what, y'all turn the TV off. Y'all folk over there smoking and playing cards over there. Y'all going outside. You see what I'm saying? These children have to study. Wow. And I did say children, C-H-U-R-N, and not children. Right. Okay, now, because we're for real. Okay, now, so again, check this out. They have to go to school every day. If they're out sick, I must see that note from the doctor. They have to keep the house clean, okay? Dirty clothes off the floor, et cetera. We get them washing machines and dryers, stoves, refrigerators, beds, all of these things we supply to the families in addition to the house. Right. Now, they'll go through a probation period for about 2 or 3 years for following our rules. They have to pick up trash in the community from one stop sign to the other. They have to make sure that that community is clean. Whether or not they put trash on the ground themselves, it does not matter. They have to pick up the trash. They have to go to church at least once a week, anybody's church. There's one fella in our group who is a Muslim. We don't discriminate against races or religion, just as long as they believe in God, because we feel that that is the root, that is the source of our help. And, okay, they have to work. Now, if they're not working, we help find them jobs. There have been some companies, matter of fact, here in town who have been particularly nice and kind and decent in hiring people with very low training.
Shout out to those.
Yeah,
shout out to those companies.
Yeah, the Palmetto Pigeon Plant
Right.
is one that sometimes I've taken 3 and 4 people together in my car to the pigeon plant, and they've hired them on the spot.
And is that Mr. Boykin down there?
No, that's Tony Barwick.
Barwick,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
Mr.
right.
Tony Barwick,
Yep.
who's the owner of the pigeon
Right.
plant.
I know.
There is a Harvin's Meat Company that have hired a lot of people.
What we call
for us.
Harvin Packing Company.
Yeah, the
Right,
packing
right,
company.
right.
And also Gold Kiss. Gold
Okay.
Kiss has hired a lot of people.
Okay.
The chicken plant out of Columbia Farms.
Right.
Okay, and I mentioned that basically because the people that we have helped by the grace of God have been high school dropouts, many of them. It's a peculiar thing that the dropout rate of the people that we have been working with for a long time, they'll drop out in the 9th or the 10th grade. Why that is, I don't know. There is something about the middle school, high school transition in a lot of our people, and they'll drop out. They'll have very little training. They'll have very little resources. They rent the sofa,
Right.
they rent the lamp, they rent the television,
right.
they rent, and don't know anything about ownership. And so in our desire to help families, we not only just give them a house, no, and we are serious about that. We'll get the house. We don't have grant money.
Let me ask you this. You ever have time to cook dinner or anything?
Yeah, check this out. Very quick meals. I'm a specialist on 15-minute meals.
Wow.
Okay, check this out. Listen,